Was there a time you felt you were trapped? Lately, I can't help myself but to feel trapped. As I walked on the same road I'd been walking for the past 15 years, I went through the same streets and crossed the same people whose faces I've now memorized, even though I do not know them personally. I crossed the same alley that I played in as a kid and noticed that it is now filled with other kids, and the friends I've bonded with here are now living a different life. Then I realized how long I was traversing the same path. So I stopped momentarily, delved into the feeling, and looked up at the sky. I noticed the clear blue welkin. It looked peaceful, and it gave me comfort just by looking at it. A jet leaving its contrail caught my attention, and I observed it for a while. And after a minute of doing so, the jet vanished. Isn't it fascinating how humanity has advanced and managed to fly freely in the sky and go through different places within just a couple of hours? If a jet can fly freely in the sky, why can't I? Why do I feel trapped? This these feelings were supposedly temporary, a hurdle meant to be overcome. A temporal feeling, not something that would cause exigency in the first quarter of my life. No matter how hard I try to conquer my thoughts, I can't accept it. I can't accept my fate, and it makes the boulder harder to carry each time it rolls down. I thought when I got older I could be free, fly just like a bird and roam like a horse. But I don't know where it went into disarray. I feel trapped in my own cage. What people portrayed teenage life to be was nothing like how I lived it. To cope with my reality, I chose to isolate myself and keep myself busy. I remember that back then, I didn't care about school. All I cared about was playing games and sleeping once I was tired, and I was fine with it. It brought me comfort. I know that living your own life and creating your own story is a completely normal way to live life. Or was it just a form of coping with missing out on the experiences I should have experienced? Sometimes I cannot help myself from desiring other stories that are better than I had. Then I grew up out of it and realized there's more to life. I began expanding my social life, participating in events that I normally turn down, and started to care about school. But then it gave me comfort once again. When I start feeling comfortable in what I'm doing, this series of thoughts, thoughts, thoughts that you are not progressing will slowly creep up. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. A famous quote by Seneca, and I completely agree with it. It is sad because for most people, it has become a coping mechanism, and in my case, imagining the possibilities was a temporary solution to a depressing problem I was facing. For quite a while now, I have been burned out on what was supposed to be my distraction. The thought of I'm not progressing is a thought that went crashing down. Eckhart Tolle said, in today's rush, we all think too much, seek too much, and forget about the joy of just being. In some ways, I can find myself agreeing with it because it was the philosophy I believed when I was still a teenager. But now I find it hard to agree on. How can a person define if they are rushing things and seeking too much if their whole life was spent in deprivation? What if seeking wasn't for luxury but instead to survive? How many more make the best out of your situation do people have? If all they did was enjoy what they had in their existence, why is seeking more an act of irrationality? Maybe this was the hurdle I'm trying to find an answer for, or is it someone else's story I'm trying to live? Man is condemned to be free, as Jean Paul Sartre famously said. It encapsulates the idea of why people often feel trapped. With freedom, the consequences of your actions can be overwhelmingly heavy, as every choice we make is a consequence only we are responsible for and must bear. Trying to digest what was being implied was a tough pill to swallow. The weight of my actions is only mine to carry, and when things won't go as planned, the only person who I can blame is myself. The absolute freedom that we have is overwhelming. It doesn't feel liberating, it feels paralyzing. Maybe I became too afraid of doing things, and in the first place, trying something new wasn't my strong suit, and this can be a reason why I feel trapped. Before I can even realize it, I am already sinking slowly into a pool of thoughts. Happy birthday to me. Today I turned 20. Through the years, I've celebrated my birthday in a lot of different ways. Sometimes, for some, it may not look like a celebration, but for me, it is one of the best yearly occurrences. Thanks to my friends who always make it the best, and to my family who always sacrifice something just to give me the best birthdays. Looking back on my life experiences, I've been to different places, eaten a lot of food, met many people, achieved goals I once dreamed of, let go of some of them, and failed at some along the way. And yet, perhaps I'm not content with my life. I wanted more than what life can offer. That's why, even though I'm doing the same things, progressing at my own pace, and overcoming life's boulders, I am expecting to attain more. And in doing so, I failed to realize that be satisfied with what I have. Being satisfied doesn't equate with not wanting more. It can help you ease your anxiety about the uncertainty of the future. And if I can accept that I can't be a jet flying freely in the sky or a bird roaming around, then maybe I can accept that I am trapped. Accepting life for what it is might help me attain peace of mind. Maybe I'll never soar like a jet in the sky or roam freely like a bird. Maybe I was never meant to. Maybe accepting that I won't be as free as those is the only way to set myself free.